we're here at Ripley School Apartments, and I grew up here when I was younger. We moved here in 1996, and right now the apartments are headed by Ken Hodges, and he actually owns a lot of different properties around the area. And I'm just going to kind of take you around the place that I grew up. Alright, I'm standing in front of the school right now, and out here, we used to come out here and play with our toys. Right over here, this little storm drain on the side here, I used to take my toys and pretend that it was a cliff, and then the toys would fall into the cliff, and I made up my own stories with that. And we used to have a grill down here. We'd come out and grill in the summer, and it's actually really nice. If you look out there, there's a nice view of the canal. So it was really nice to be out here in the summer. And then right across the road is the junkyard. And sometimes my dad would take us down there into the junkyard. And we weren't supposed to be down there, but we liked to kind of see the different things that people would throw away. Sometimes we took them, sometimes we didn't. I didn't know if that was exactly legal. And then we go to the smelter before it was fenced off, and we used to find copper on the smelter, and we have like a big bag of that in our basement at home. So this is kind of where we used to hang out during the summer. Okay, right now we're in the basement of the Ripley School Apartments, and down here was a really big deal for me because on rainy days during the winter, my sister and I would come down here, and right here where we're at, this was closed off, and now that it seems like it's open, so this is where we used to play all the time. It was originally the gym when Ripley School was in operation, but now it was used for storage. But we're going to go check it out because it's open. See, what I would do is we would take a pair of rollerblades and we would use the gym kind of as our own little rollerblading paradise. And actually over here, there used to be a jungle gym that we'd climb on. There was a lot of the old furniture down here too. We used to listen to a very old radio down here, and then we'd rollerblade to that. I used to rollerblade to classical music. So that was kind of what I did down here in my free time. And it's just so cool that this is open now because I haven't seen this in 8 years, I think. It's been closed off that long, and it looks like he uses it for tenant storage now. So that's pretty cool. But I actually had my 5th grade birthday party down here. And we had a bunch of decorations on the walls, and we had Pokemon party favors. So that happened down here too. So it's kind of cool to be down here again and see that. It's still in pretty good shape. I'm standing in front of a hallway where there's a couple of rooms back here where my dad used to do his homework. He was a non-traditional student at Tech. And while he did his homework back there, we liked to play down here in the basement. But there was one room that we were really afraid of. We call it the boiler room. We're not exactly sure if that's really what it is. But the boiler room, you walk in and it's always really, really dark. We can never find the lights. There's kind of like a hole or a dip in the middle, and it's got pipes coming out of it and everything. We were convinced that this place was haunted. And so we would kind of dare each other to stay down here alone. And we heard this one sound. It was like a weird squeak that would go off every now and then. And we weren't sure if it was like a mouse or if something was down there. So it was kind of one of our things that we like to do down here besides just play. Okay, this is the laundry room of the apartment building, and the reason I'm showing you this is because this rug down here is actually my mom's rug from when we lived here back from 96 to 2000. And it's just funny that after all these years it's still here. So it's kind of like we're leaving behind a piece of us still in this place. Okay, right now we're going to actually go up to my old apartment. Actually, I got the chance to see it when I had to sign a lease with the same landlord last year. So up here we have these big windows that overlook the canal. And when I was younger, now I can have a very proud. When I was younger, I used to hop up there and stare outside of the canal. And that's kind of what I would do to see the sunset, or if there was a storm rolling in, I used to do that right there in apartment 8. And you can see in this apartment right here, above it it says grade 5, 6, 6. And above my apartment in apartment 8, it used to say mathematics. But I think we took it down or the landlord took it down. But I think my dad has that now. So we have that little grade 8 mathematics. So this window down here, it was right down from my apartment. And my dad not only was a student at Tech, but he worked late nights, catering, and I used to wait up here. Actually, this radiator, or a radiator, used to come over here in front of the window. And I used to climb on top of it, and I used to watch out the window and wait for my dad to come home.
You wouldn't think so just by looking behind me, but up in the woods up there is actually a waterfall, or what used to be a waterfall. When I was younger, my sister and my dad and I used to climb the waterfall back there, and it's a little bit of a hike to get back to it, but it's a small waterfall that kind of comes down the mountain a little bit, and not a lot of people know it's back there, and we used to do that a lot during the summer. We actually climbed up there a couple years ago to see if it was still there. They're doing a whole bunch of construction with the ski hill now, and it's kind of gone against the waterfall, so there's not really much of a waterfall left anymore, so we don't really climb up there anymore, but it's kind of sad to know that it's kind of gone. But we like to remember when we used to climb up there all the time, and it's something that we won't forget. So this is kind of the gist of my childhood. If I look back and I think back to the one place that really felt like home, it was this place in the Ripley apartment building, and every time I come back here, I'm always kind of taken away by all the memories that I have here. I mean, it was 5 years of living here as a kid, growing up in this historic building, and it really changed my life. You know, even though this place has changed a lot since I've been gone, it's still that same place in my childhood. It'll still always be that home to me. You know, I moved around a lot when I was younger, and I don't really have a place to call my home. But when I think back to a home, I think of Ripley School Apartment.